The tension has been brewing for quite a while between BKFC fighters Dat Nguyen and Reggie Barnett Jr. And we finally get to see them fight at BKFC 14. The story coming up. Hey there, combat sports fans. Susan Cingari here with BKFC fighter Dat Nguyen, who is facing a new opponent at BKFC 14. So, Dat, when did you find out that Reggie was in and Johnny Bedford was out?
I think about 10 days ago, and my wife, she had said that, my Bedford is hurt, so they're looking for a replacement. And at that moment, I kind of knew that they was going to put Reggie Barnett in, because he's been talking a lot of trash and he's been wanting to fight me. So since I was already training, I fight whoever they want to put in front of me, you know. So the style is a little different because Johnny is a right-handed and Reggie's a left-handed. So the style statistically is going to change my strategy a little bit. You know, with Johnny Bedford, he's more of a brawler. And Reggie, you know, he grew up doing boxing as a young age. You know, his father owns a boxing gym and he runs a boxing gym. But, he lied about it. He lied. He acted like he's not a boxer. Maybe he didn't succeed in boxing, so he don't want to be, said that he's a boxer. But, he grew up going to all the boxing tournament and, he never win a national tournament. And he's just being a punk and calling me up.
What about mentally going into the fight? Because so much of the game is mental. How do you prepare for a change with a last-minute opponent mentally?
I just need motivation because usually I don't even train if I don't have a fight. I got a lot of things to do. I own a restaurant. I used to own a gym, and I just got rid of that because of COVID-19. And I have a lot of different ideas that I want to do with life. Fighting is one thing that I did for so many years, and I want to make it something. Be a world champion, and that's why I continue with this path. But like I said, I wasn't motivated until I was fighting Johnny Bedford because they did offer me to fight Reggie Barnett during the COVID-19 a few months back, I think. And I tell them, why am I fighting Reggie Barnett when I'm supposed to fight Johnny Bedford? Because David Feldman, he said that if I fight 2 times, the third fight is for the championship. So that's the only reason why I joined Bare Knuckle, is to be a world champion.
I was on your Instagram recently, and you posted that you were training Mexican style. What does that mean?
Well, I always love Mexican style because that is my style of fighting. Because I come to fight. So at high level, they just refer to as an aggressive fighter as a Mexican style. So it's kind of catching up is a catchy phrase, for boxing fans out there who watch boxing. So basically, Mexican style it's a forward fighter that apply pressure on your opponent and force them to fight. So that's my style. Fans want to see that. They don't want to see a Floyd Mayweather running around dancing and hit and not get hit. I mean, which is part of boxing. But the fan enjoy more of a type of Mexican style fighter.
So speaking of Mexican style fighting, what range do you want to fight in and why?
With bare knuckle, it's a little different from glove boxing, obviously. But the punch is gonna hurt more. It's gonna have more meaning behind it. But if you apply the boxing technique, so it's gonna work pretty much the same. So it's all depends on your opponent. You can apply box. Like I said, when I fought Abdel Velasquez in my last fight, his style was very different. He was more awkward, more of an MMA style, in and out, jumping in and grabbing my head out of range. But so I kind of trained and was prepared for that. That's why they see what I did in that fight. So with Reggie Barnett, he's not going to be throwing those kind of punches. He's going to be more of a conventional boxer, but bare knuckle. So, he's not going to bring nothing new to the table other than, boxing skill level, but it's still boxing. And like I said, I'm going to have the satisfaction to punish this guy.
How much have you been training and working in the clinch then?
Well, the clinch, like I said, it's part of the bare knuckle. That's the thing that is different from glove boxing. You can hold the guy's head. So I mean, I'm prepared for that because I know Reggie's gonna try to get in close and hold my head. If he holds my head, he's gonna get the same thing that's happened to Adele. You know, when Adele grabbed my head the second time, he was eating left hook and right hook right on the chin, and you know, it's a big mistake for them. You know, so I'm prepared for that. You know, like I said, if he comes in, I can grab him and do the same thing. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's no elbows and no knees involved. If it was, I would have just knocked him out with my knee or my elbow. But since we're doing only fists, so he's gonna eat a lot of those fists, and I'm just gonna have the satisfaction to punish him and you know, make him quit. You know, because usually I'm not like that with people that I fight because it's more of a sport. But I kind of dislike him. Because for him to talk so much trash, and I just have, like I said, when I beat him, my fist's gonna feel satisfied. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What are the keys to victory in this fight, do you think?
The key is to come in shape, because you already know that Reggie comes in shape, and most likely he's gonna be running in and out, in and out. He's not gonna probably fight me Mexican style because he don't know how to fight that style. He's not gonna change overnight. So he probably gonna try, be out of range. You know, me, I'm been at the elite level in boxing. I'm gonna close that range. You know, like I said, once I establish my range, and he flicking those left jabs or that right jabs, he's gonna eat punch all day. He can't even beat Johnny Bedford. Johnny Bedford's not even a boxer, and he's tagging him. You know, me, I'm going to tag him with full power. If I hit him one, good night.
Do you think the fight will go the distance, or are you planning on trying to knock him out?
Well, I train to go the distance. You know, like I said, I've been sparring 8-10 rounds hard. So, you know, 5 2-minute rounds don't mean nothing. So I'm going to be stepping on the gas from the bell ring. Yeah, we're going to find out who's the real fighter in there. You know, he's been calling me a bitch and this and that. So we will see who's the real bitch, you know, when it's time to fight, because then he's going to have to eat his word. He said, I'm eating my word. I don't eat my word. I'm a man of honor. You know, if I'm going to say I'll do something, I do it. Unlike him, you know, he's a punk. He's a thug. And he talk big. He got a loud mouth. But he probably, most people who talk big, you know, are the ones that don't really do shit, you know.
Speaking of the fact that you dislike him, let's roll the video of what went down at BKFC 12 and tell our viewers as we roll the video what was happening.
So what happened is, I came to BKFC, that was 11. I think that was 11 or 12. So it was in Daytona Beach. So I came there. I knew that he was going to fight Adele Velasquez. And Adele and I have became friends, you know, after our last fight. So I like Adele, you know, he's a hard worker. He's a good fighter, you know, and, after my last fight, I knocked him out. You know, I hoped that he was going to be the same fighter again. So I was really cheering for him to win, you know, and I came there to support him. And Reggie saw me. So Reggie's, you know, is all excited. You know, he's like, oh, you want to fight me? I said, look, focus on your fight. You know, don't worry about what I said and cheering Adele on. He's out there screaming, yelling, hey, you next, you next. So I was like, okay, you don't want me next. I'm fighting Johnny Bedford next. Fighting you is taking a step backwards. Why the hell would I want to fight you, you know? So he came out there and he started calling me a bitch and this and that, said I'm scared of him. He's a ranked #1 guy. He should be fighting Johnny Bedford next, not me. So, you know, it's what it is. You know, I said I didn't think much of it. You know, I just, like I said, you know, people gonna call you out. You know, but are you gonna want to fight them? Is it gonna make sense? So basically, he called me out multiple times. But what is the whole point of me fighting him? If the fan is not interested, you know, the people don't even know who he is. He fought 6 times in bare knuckle and he didn't even made a name for himself. I fought 2 times. You know, more people are aware of me being in bare knuckle because I come to fight. I don't go the distance. I try to knock people out.
In a recent interview I did with Reggie Barnett Jr., I know you two were having sort of a social media war. His beef was the fact that you put up personal comments about his family.
He's bullshitting. He's just trying to use that as an excuse. He's a little bitch, calling me a bitch and this. So basically, I said, look, you know, he's like, oh, this is so. I said, like, Maybe he wants to. Maybe he needs to fight because his wife needed the money. So that's the only thing I ever said. So that's not a personal thing. I mean, that is fact. He needed the money. That's why you see he begging to fight all the time to make that money. So I said, maybe his wife needed the money. That's why he always wanted to fight, and he want to fight me because if he fights me, he gonna get paid the most. Because that is a bigger fight for him. He fighting somebody else. They don't have a name. They're not gonna get. David's not gonna pay them. So basically, that's what I said. So he thinks that's a personal and talking about his family. That's not his family. That's not talking about his family. Talking about his family is saying, oh, your parents this and that. Your parents this and that. Your wife is this and that. I didn't say nothing about that. I don't disrespect his family. He's just making shit up and trying to use bullshit stuff to create controversy. So he is a loser.
Do you respect Reggie as a fighter then?
I respect all fighters. You cannot take no fighter lightly because, we in the sports of fighting. But, when he took the trash talking and saying that I disrespect him and his family, it has gone to another point where I really want to punish him. Like I said, usually when I fight people, I fight for the sports. I fight for, just for the love of the sport. This time I'm fighting to beat his ass. Like I said, it's going to have some satisfaction when I'm really in there punishing him. Because then I'm going to let him know who is the real bitch. You know what I mean? When I knock him out. Well, I mean, it's not the right thing to do, when you knock somebody out. But, like I said, we'll see what happens in the fight. And let's see if he's going to be talking that shit again,
Do you feel like all this trash talking has gotten into both of your heads then?
Not really. I mean, like I said, it just motivate me to be in better shape, to beat his ass down. Like I said, when I trained for Adele and I trained for Travis Thompson, I didn't even train, to tell you the truth. I mean, I did a little bit of running. I did a little bit of sparring, but not at the level of sparring I'm getting right now. I'm sparring big guys, big, 180 pounds, 160 pounder. They're trying to knock my head off. With Reggie Barnett, don't have no power. He don't knock nobody out. His punch is not going to mean nothing. I'm going to walk right through it. I'm going to freaking counter him. I'm going to break him down. I'm going to make him quit and beg for mercy. So hopefully the referee don't jump in too soon because I want to punish him and let him beg for mercy himself, not the referee jump in to save him.
Speaking of punishing, the last time we spoke, you said you wanted to go back into boxing, and it looks like you punished your last opponent. Let's talk about that fight.
Boxing is very political because there's a few big promoters out there that control the boxing scene. So, for me to be in the sports of boxing for a long time, they never show me any love. Now that I'm doing bare knuckle, people show me more love and more respect. And that's why I love the MMA fans. The MMA fans are more loyal. The boxing fan, they just, I mean, I love boxing too, no doubt that, but they just want one thing. They just want to be in boxing. They think MMA is kind of cockfighting, et cetera, et cetera. Every sport is an art. Fighter, especially us fighter, we train hard and we're trying to provide for our family. We are prize fighter, and we love the support from the fan, and that's all I can say. I said I would love to do whatever will provide for my family.
From a skill set perspective, which do you prefer, fighting with gloves or fighting without gloves on?
I really like fighting without gloves on. I mean, it's a new sport. I mean, but that's the purest form of fighting. I mean, if you're gonna have a conflict with somebody, you're not gonna go and say, "Hey, let's go put some gloves on and we're gonna fight." Somebody talking crap at you in the street, or somebody talking, you're gonna fight them bare fist. So that's the purest form of fighting. So if you can fight bare fist, good. That's the truest form of fighting. People are gonna respect you more. Most boxer that fights with gloves, they can't fight bare knuckle because it's a different sport. It's two different sports. Same thing with UFC fighters. They're still used to the range in the kicks and the different technique of taking down and jiu-jitsu. They can't really use their bare knuckle skills. So bare knuckle is a new sport.
Before we go today, Dat, is there anything else you would like to add?
First, I want to thank Susan Cingari for giving me the opportunity. You guys have been always great to me. I want to thank all my fans for tuning in to this interview. Secondly, I thank you guys for all your love and support. Like I said, you guys have been supporting me throughout my whole career. My last 2 fights, I see that there's a lot of love. Thank you so much for that. And please tune into the next fight, because I'm gonna come to fight, and we'll see if Reggie's gonna bring it. Like I said, I always come to fight. People already know that. That's why people in boxing don't want me to be fighting, because they know I come to fight and they want to take the easy route and pick somebody else. So I have to go to bare knuckle to get fights. So I want to thank all you fans out there. Please tune into the next fight, BKFC 14. If you guys are gonna buy the fight on pay-per-view, make sure you use my codes. I got a percentage of that. It's called Dat Nguyen and 225. Make sure you put that as refer a friend code. So use that, and I will get the credit for it. So thank you so much, you guys.
All right, Dat Nguyen, thank you for taking the time to interview with us today, and I wish you good luck against your fight with Reggie Barnett Jr.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you over there.
BKFC 14 goes down Friday night the 13th from Miami Beach, Florida, and features a title fight between Jim Ehlers and Luis Baboon Palomino. You can catch all the action on the BKTV app, which you can download. And we will be there, combat sports fans, bringing you all the beautiful bloody action. I'm Susan Cingari, and remember, no one beats us to the punch.